back. Obviously, he's sculling a bit. I don't know what he's doing, but welcome back to the Gone for 10 show. We're here. We're ready to talk about round 2. We have some absolute cracking games coming up. Obviously, it'll start on Thursday night with the Panthers taking on the Rabbitohs at the foot of the mountain. You'll have the Eels versus the Sharks on Friday night, followed by the Broncos versus the Cowboys in that Queensland derby. Little brother versus big brother. I'll let you guys argue who the little brother is and who the big brother is. We'll then move into, obviously, Saturday afternoon where the Roosters look to bounce back against the Warriors at Allianz Stadium. We'll move into the 5:30 game, which is the high-flying Dolphins after round 1, taking on Ricky's Raiders and Baxter's top 4 prospects this year. And then obviously finish the Super Saturday with Storm taking on the Bulldogs before we head over to Leichhardt Oval again for the West Tigers versus the Knights on Sunday afternoon, followed by the final game of the round that will be the Dragons playing in their first game versus the Titans, with obviously Manly having a bye. But we'll chuck it up there, Baxter. We'll go nice and quick through this. We'll chuck straight in. Obviously, first, I'll let you read through this. The ladder for round 1 is up there. Talk me through it.
So in last place, we've got the Bulldogs. In second last is the Tigers. In 15th, the Roosters. 14 Sharks. 13 Knights. 12 Eels. 11 Panthers. 11 Raiders. 9 Dragons. 8 Cowboys. 7 Broncos. 6 Storm. 5 Warriors. 4 Rabbits. 3 Dolphins. 2 Titans. And 1 Manly on a pear tree, if you wanted to go that route. But it's early days. It's only round 1. No one wins the comp. Only with 1 game in the game. So let's just rip off the Band-Aid and get into round 2.
Well, it definitely is early days. And if you're a Dragons fan, if you don't win this week, that might be the highest you'll see yourself for the rest of the year. So treasure it, worship it, frame it, put it on a wall. You're almost in the top 8, and I think that's enough for you guys this year. But like you said, let's jump straight into it. It is the Panthers taking on the Rabbitohs Thursday, 8 p.m. at Bluebet Stadium. The team list is up there. Number 1, Dylan Edwards. 2, Sania Taruva. 3, Targo. 4, Crichton. 6, Luai. 7, Cleary. 8, Moses Leota. 9, Mitch Kenny gets to start again over Sonny Luke. 10, Fisher Harris. 11, Garner. 12, Martin. 13, Yo. 14, Sonny Luke. 15, Matthew Eisenhuth. Spencer Leniu in the 16. And wrapping up the bench is Jamin Summon again. Obviously, reserves. They have been cut down, but Zach Hoskin is the 18th man, and obviously our good mate Lindsay Smith does sit in that 19th man if anything does change now. I look at this, there's not a lot of changes from what we saw from Penrith last week. Obviously, Scott Sorensen, he is ruled out with concussion, which is earlier in the week, which means Matt Eisenhuth has come in. So no disrespect to obviously this Panthers squad, but if they don't take a massive rocket up the arse this week at training, they're going to struggle to win this game tomorrow. So, again, Lindsay, he's a 19th man. He probably doesn't get played. Zach Hoskins probably the only player that I can see potentially joining the bench. But what do you make of this squad? And as a non-Panther supporter, do you look at this squad and you think these fans should be confident? Or do you look at this squad and go, there's still something missing. There's still something not clicking right?
On paper, I think you'd be confident to go into this game and win it. You're the back-to-back champions for a reason. As I touched in our review, sort of say, they lost 4 players over the last 2 seasons. They've lost 2 assistant coaches. So Cameron Serrato did run their defense, and it's hard to replace a good defensive and offensive coach for that matter. But as I said, on paper, they should be confident in getting this win. Back at home again, I'll make one small change and drop Salmon altogether because after 17 minutes you say you're tired, mate. Bring in Lindsay Smith, he'll do a better job. He might say he's tired after 80 minutes straight out. So apart from that, let's have a look into the South Sydney Rabbitohs lineup before I make my prediction.
Before we do jump into that, I think Lindsay will have his hands on his hips after about 80 seconds, not 80 minutes. So, obviously...
No. You've been watching the wrong Lindsay Smith, mate. My Lindsay Smith, he's an 80-minute player. He should be out there, but...
Well, I mean, he was the only reason they did have a chance, obviously, with that last flick pass in the club challenge. So he did get him into extra time. He had to come off due to the guy passing the HIA, but it is what it is. But like I said, I'll throw it across to you. It is the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They are playing the lineups on the screen. Baxter, take it away.
In the fullback role, we got Latrell Mitchell named with a knee injury still. Cloud over his late withdrawal, maybe. We've got Alex Johnson and Isaac Thompson in the wing position. Isaiah Tass and Campbell Graham, serial killer, in the centre roles. You've got Cody Walker and Lachlan Elias in the halves. You've got Daniel Fafita and Tom Burgess in the forward pack with Damien Cook to make the hooker role. You got KK and MCK in the back row position with Cameron Murray to make out the lock. You got Blake Taff in the 14th jersey, Jed Cartwright, David Mole, and Shaq Mitchell to round out the bench with Tallis Duncan to be the 18th man. Again, this looks like a good side. Yeah, they lose Dry Arrow to a hamstring injury, as well as their HIA protocol player last week got knocked out in the first hit up of the game, which name escapes me at the moment.
Peter Totola.
All the best to him, because it looked bad on first impact, but he sort of bounced back up and was sort of ready to go again. But as I'll side with on the side of caution, and then playing with the independent doctor and the HIA there. So good to see that they are following those protocols. But again, this side really not that much change, but on paper they should be getting the win here this weekend. So it'll be a blockbuster for Thursday night football.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, like you said, you did mention Tavita Totola. Now, if this game was played Friday night or Saturday, he may have played this game. Obviously, due to the short turnaround at South Sydney they played 7:30 on Saturday. They then obviously can't back up this early for a Thursday night game. So from what I've heard, all things are going well with his concussion protocols. And if this game was a day or two later, he would have been playing. So I guess that's one positive. For a Dry Arrow, obviously with his hamstring, it is what it is. He's got to get through those hamstrings. We've seen with Tommy. We've seen with all these big players. If you don't get them right, you're going to have longer injuries down the road. So let's hope he can get that right before he does return. And obviously, the only other player that might scrape into the bench leading up, obviously, is Tane Milne. It is named in the 21 jersey. He might find his way on the bench. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But Baxter, I'm going to go first on this one because I feel like I let you go a lot first last week. And then I just went, you know what? Let's have a bit of fun and go something opposite to make it interesting. So I'm going to lock in a South Sydney victory. I think Penrith goes 0-2 to start the season. I'd love to say 13 plus, and I think if everyone was fully fit, I'd be back in this side to go 13 plus, but I'm going to go 1-12, given there's a massive chance Latrell Mitchell doesn't play. Now, I'm going to give you two options here because obviously there's a world where Latrell plays. He trained this morning. He plays.
Yeah.
There's a world where Latrell doesn't play. So I'm going 1-12 Souths. If Latrell Mitchell is ruled out, my fin will switch into 1-12 Panthers, but take it away.
I think I have to side with you. Judging on what he's done at training and all signs are positive, I'm going to have to lean with you and go South 1-12. We saw some, I wouldn't say cracks merging at Penrith, but just some things are not gelling and clicking from the 9 to the halves roll to their forward back. A lot of balls hit the deck for them. It is what it is, but I'm siding with you. 1-12 South Sydney if if he plays. But if he doesn't play, I will still back South Sydney to get the job done. I think they still have a lot more to offer than this Penrith side.
Oh, well, there you go. We might, based on what Latrell does, we might have someone winning after Thursday night. If Latrell plays, we're going to be even going into Friday night. But going into